to my channel. We have a guest here. I'm going to introduce yourself.
Hi lovelies, my name is NAJA'ATU. You can call me Naj actually. I'm very happy to be here. This is my, I think, third time I'm about to have a makeup and I'm so excited. And I hope that you'll be tuned to see how glamorous I'm going to look.
Sit back.
Enjoy.
Guys, I'm giving you free therapy section.
Free therapy.
Come and pay me. So, okay, my first question, honestly, I feel like I'm in that pet space now. And I know a lot of single girls are in that pet space now.
Okay.
So I really want to, like, what's your take on, like, premarital counseling?
Okay.
And if, like, take for instance, I'm interested in premarital counseling and my partner isn't like open to that idea, how do I like talk him into it?
Yeah. Okay. So first off, let me just start by saying most people when they're in relationships, I usually ask, so apart from the lovey-dovey, apart from the I love you, you love me, the FaceTime, the this, the that, the cute things, what else do you talk about? I hear people that say, I've been in a relationship with this person for months, for years. Yeah. And then, you know, they were having the wrong conversations actually. Right? Yeah. And when it comes to marriage, because when we talk about premarital, then that means we're talking of marriage, yeah? And that means they've reached a certain point. Yeah. So marriage is beyond what meets the eye, it's beyond what meets the I love you, you love me. It's actually a life on its own. Nothing to be really scared about too. Because you're talking of living in the same space with someone. Even if you're not living in the same space with someone, you're thinking of combining personalities, yours and the other person's. And we know that, we know that everyone is different. Yeah. So when it comes to premarital counseling, it is actually very, even if you know yourselves, you and your partner, it is highly advisable to opt for a premarital counseling class. And I would also suggest that if you're going for a premarital counseling class, you can also consider one that is Islamic oriented also. Yeah. Why? Because we have our own values, we have our own traditions, our own ethics, and how we want to live our lives. Yeah. And it's just beyond how you and I should live, right? Yeah. So when it comes to premarital counseling, it's not just about, people think if you go to see a psychologist or a therapist,
you're crazy.
You're crazy. Or something has to be wrong.
Yeah.
But nothing has to be wrong actually. You could have the healthiest of relationships, but you still want to maintain that. You still want to have something qualitative, and that's why you want to take a big decision of opting for a premarital counseling class. Yeah. So basically, when it comes to premarital counseling, usually it would be what tailors your needs as a person. But usually it's an approach that they're integrated. We talk about communication. We know that the people that are passive aggressive. The goal is, we know that even if you have it healthy, fights are normal, misunderstandings are normal. Yeah. But the most important part of it is to actually learn how to communicate when it's difficult. Right? Yeah. It's about learning how to be there for each other, knowing to understand the needs of the person. First off, what are the love languages? Like in the setting, I have a lot of experiences where couples come and the man is like, my wife doesn't love me anymore. She only cooks for me and that is all. Wow. And my wife is like, everything I do, you don't see it. And then to them, it's like, when it's not like, it's just that because they don't know the love languages, right? They don't know the love languages. Yeah. Example, trying to identify your love language is part of premarital counseling, because most of us, there are couples that are together but they might not really feel the love that the other person has for them. It doesn't mean that the other person does not love them, but it only means that maybe they have not really identified their love languages yet, so they will be having problems upon problems, and then what? Lack of satisfaction would come, lack of contentment would come. Yeah. Again, there's something we call emotional intelligence, which most people, in fact, there's a book by who? I think
I'll put it in the description box.
Yes, I think Daniel Soledman also. Yeah. There's a book that he wrote. He said emotional intelligence can matter more than IQ. IQ is the intelligence, which is like our normal intelligence, because you can be very intelligent, but you don't know how to deal with people. Yeah. You don't know how to solve. You don't know about conflict resolution. You don't know how to deal with your day-to-day. You don't know problem-solving skills. Yeah. You wouldn't really go far. right?
Right.
But if you have the emotional intelligence, you're more likely to be loved by people. You're more likely to be empathetic, to be, to give all, to spread love and all of that.
Yeah.
So we talk about emotional intelligence, problem-solving mechanisms, love languages, how to solve conflicts and all of that.
Yeah.
So we're not wanting for the couples to be perfect, but we want them to at least have the foundation of a very healthy and long-lasting relationship. Also, a lot of ready-made questionnaires that you should have rather than just being chatty and asking what you've eaten in the morning or have you eaten.
Yeah.
Try to have a lot of questions and learn a lot of things.
Yeah.
Read books together, evolve, grow together, build. And there's a lot of things behind premarital counseling. So if your partner doesn't want to go, it might be that he just doesn't want to go, but maybe he just doesn't know how important it is
I
to
think that's the
you.
case, yeah.
Because there are people that are very guarded, they don't like to tell, let's do this. He might tell you, but we're doing okay, babe. Why do we need to go for premarital counseling? You're like, no, babe.
Or the person,
We're doing good, but I just want us to be better. I want us to build long-lasting relationships, and then, just make yourself aware.
I'm so happy I heard this, because you just said something like, I want us to be better.
Yeah, so
like it just made me like those words are exactly what I would tell the person.
The drive.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was very, very not confident at all.
Okay.
And like I always felt I was never pretty.
Okay.
And the crazy thing is that when I see pretty people, I'll be like, oh my god, she's so pretty.
Okay.
Like I would tell you you're pretty.
So,
it was not even like, but for me, I never accepted I was pretty. To me, how I felt like being pretty has to be with me being a good person.
Okay, so you felt that was your definition of what pretty could be.
Like for me personally,
Okay.
like I could see physically other people's beauty, but for me, I felt like I have to be good to be
Maybe
pretty.
you were compromising that. Okay, let me tell you what happens. Maybe you're trying to compromise that because somewhere you already felt your self-image was, I'm not pretty. So I'm trying to console that with, okay, I can be kind.
Yeah.
So if I'm kind, I'm pretty. But at the same time, like before we are able to have a high self-esteem, we have to, our self-image has to be in check, then our self-concept.
Yeah.
Self-concept is the ideas that we have about ourselves.
Yeah.
If I deep down don't feel confident by myself, of course, if someone tells me that, hey, I think you're this or you're that, we wouldn't believe them.
Yeah.
And if 1, 2, 3 persons say that means it's true. And that means maybe it's about time that we see the truth in their words.
Yeah.
Take that in.
So I would
and
have
take
so
ownership.
many things. I'm like, oh my god, I'm not pretty. But I think over time, I would just look and be like, oh my god, I'm fine. Like, and it just started coming.
It's a different level of confidence.
I don't know how it came. I can't. But now I know.
Yeah.
Like it got to a point where I started like before I don't feel pretty without makeup.
Okay.
And I have to put even powder. But now I don't even feel pretty with makeup on. I'm like, I feel like I'm fine now. Like no, I know.
So what happened? So
no,
what happened? How did you achieve that from this to that? That was fast.
Like I just didn't care again.
Yeah, that's true.
And maybe time I started
and then
focusing
some
on
things
myself.
that actually affect our self-esteem is reaction of others. We always feel what would this be?
Yeah, and I feel like I
What
started
person
having
thinks. So by
nicer
the
friends.
time that you are like, I don't care what they think, that's when the whole confidence starts.
Yeah. Now, and you said something about people saying, when people say things for long, like to me it was even different. People tell me, oh, you're fine. You know you're even fine without makeup. Like, you're fine, I'm like, lie.
And yeah, stop lying.
Like,
Stop
you
lying
don't need to lie what you want
That is
and
not
not say.
it. Yeah.
But over the time, I started like, oh my god, it's true.
Look at me.
Like,
I mean.
So now I know, like, I'm a bad bitch.
Of course. That's the goal.
So now, like, honestly, I think this would be like a serious mood. But it's not really a thing. With all the, like, I feel like Nigeria now is just getting bad.
Okay.
It's not getting any better.
Getting emotional already.
Oh my
It's
god,
sad, to be
it's
honest.
really sad.
Yeah.
With everything happening now, I feel like even if you're not forced to go into a situation where it brings trauma to you, to just happen one way or the other. And like I feel like even if you're not in those situations directly, it just makes you get scared. So like now some of us don't know if we're even experiencing that trauma thing or if we really need to deal with that. So like how do we identify if we have trauma? And even if we have trauma, how do we deal with it? How do we start after identifying, oh, I have trauma, I'm going through trauma about something? What are like the first steps to take and what to do with it? Like, what should we do?
Okay, so before talking about the trauma, I'm sure some people might be triggered because, talking about traumas, of course, and listening to this might actually escalate or trigger some anxiety.
Yeah.
So maybe you can pause a little and take some few deep breaths in case whatever we're going to say now is affecting you in any way. Sending our love to you. Yeah. Secondly, I must say that even I right now am triggered because I lost a friend about 2 months ago, a very close one, to banditry. She was shot, and I remember breaking down when I got to know the news. But alhamdulillah, we're sending her the prayers and we know that she's in a better place. So talking about trauma and the insecurity, of course. Yeah, thank you. Talking about the insecurity in the country.
You need a break.
It's fine, don't worry. It's okay. Come on.
Like, I don't know how to deal with that. I'm laughing at it. It's not my emotion.
No, it's definitely fine. It's definitely fine. Okay. We don't have control over some things, and we don't have any option than to just accept things and send prayers and pray that things will get better.
Yeah.
Especially these few days, if you're on Instagram or Twitter,
about it.
It's going to be quite very, very. You're going to have that urge to also keep on posting secure north and northern banditry because it's painful.
Yeah.
Even if we've not lost anyone that we know on a personal note like you or the other person that we know, one way or the other, we see stories and it's very touching. It's very touching, it's devastating because we feel if we go out, anything can happen to us. Yeah. We cannot even travel anymore, not even travel. To even go from your street to another area within your states, you don't know if you're going to come back home safely or not. For me, I get very, very anxious when someone tells me that they're traveling. Since when I lost my friend. Yeah. And then I'm like, what do you have to travel for? Is it very important? Please don't. And all of that. So I would just say that the first thing we can do is, I'm glad that the situation right now is not going anywhere, but at least I think we're taking the baby steps of, at least everyone is coming to talk about it, and then I can see that the media is a very powerful place, right?
Yeah.
One thing we can do is to keep on posting and see where it would go, and our government would, hoping that they would see it and it would be a space for us to come out and say and share our pain, just like how the NSAS happened, and then we saw that actions were being taken. So one thing we can do to safeguard our peace and all that, if you cannot take the heat, you can go off social media for some time. Yeah. If you cannot take the heat, because we know that it might continue to get worse. During NSAS, people were panicky, just like the COVID-19, because you see the story, the death tolls, and all of that going high. So you can just take some few breaks because these are things that you and I don't have control over. Yeah. From a primary level, I mean, right? Yeah. But what we can do is, if it's the scare about the security around, try as much as you can to limit travel, to limit going out. At least if you know that, we should also see security reports. And there are some security reports that we don't really know much about, but they are also there, where you see the areas where they're on the red target, they're on the red list of that people should not just follow. So try to take control over that part and not go there. And then practice a lot of deep breathing, a lot when you feel anxious. Deep breathing, right now I can't really show you because I'm on makeup, but you can check the 4, 6 or 4, 8, 7 deep breathing, yeah? Do it right and it's very effective. You asked me how would you know if you're traumatized. Okay, I'll just make this a more centralized way of knowing if you're traumatized, not just about the security in Nigeria, right? Okay. For you to be traumatized, there has to be a traumatic event. So when most people come and ask me what causes anxiety, what causes depression, what causes mental health issues, I can't give you one answer because there can be a lot of causal factors to it. Yeah. But PTSD, trauma, is one disorder that we all know the cause, which is a traumatic experience. Something has to happen for you to feel traumatized, right? Yeah. So how do you know if you're traumatized by this issue? If I say traumatized, I don't mean being scared, because we know that if stressful events happen, we're more likely to react to it, we're more likely to be scared, to probably have nightmares and all of that. Yeah. But I'm saying that if this event causes you significant distress especially across from 1 month to about 6 months. Significant distress, you become very hypervigilant. Anything happens, you're startled. You start to have recurrent dreams, flashbacks. Even flashbacks can just be sitting and just having a passion and I will tremble. That can also be a sign of trauma. Having nightmares almost all the time about that certain event. Feeling as if you're reliving the event again and again and again. But also when the event causes you so much of distress that it affects your social and occupational functioning, that means affecting your daily life, your work life, your social life. You don't want to go out with friends anymore because of the event. Your sleep is disturbed. At work, you're not able to sleep because you're thinking of the event. Literally, it affects your life almost in every way. Then it is most likely to be a traumatic event for you. And when it's traumatic, it's not something that you can just deal with alone. Trauma is like a scar. And I want to tell you that even in therapy, PTSD, it is only PTSD that has a one separate therapeutic intervention that we do, because we can't tell the person to make sense of their trauma. If a person has anxiety or has a fear or have depression, we usually want to use ration, right, to help the person come out of it. But in trauma, you can't tell the person to do that. So please take it very seriously. If it becomes overwhelming, you can consider seeing a therapist. It doesn't mean that you're crazy, it just means that you need support so that you'll be able to get back well on track. Yeah, and be kind to yourself, attend to your needs, talk to a close friend, it's fine, and all of that. Whether you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, before you go out of your house, pray for protection also. Because that also reduces the anxiety of the unknown, right? Stay safe, queens.
Stay safe.
Stay safe, queens.
I want you guys to come back and watch more series. This is just season 1. I want to see in season 2.
Of course,
3,
please.
4.
I mean, of course. What do you usually do when you're stressed? What
I have this thing where when things are becoming like overwhelming for me, I just stop.
Yeah, I like that.
Like I just stop. I'll just stop. I'm not doing it again. Like no amount of I have many.
Wait. Okay, if you say, do you mean
not
stop?
Stop. No, pause. Let me say pause. No amount, and most times when I pause, when I'm coming back, it's like that break was very much needed. Then I come back better.
Yes, I mean. Exactly.
And I feel like my body and my brain is well telling me, hey, like you do better if you stop. So I normally just stop. I don't even like stress it or fight it. I listen to my body a lot.
Listen to your body a lot.
And when something is just giving, and when I don't feel good about something, I could feel like, let's say, I'll take for instance, the way situation where maybe it's going to be stressful, but I just feel good about doing it.
I understand.
I will not feel it like that, but when it's something like, I just,
Nice. I really like what you said about listen to your bodies. And there was a quote that I saw. Akache, if something like, if you're sad, pause. If you're tired, pause. If you're angry, pause. And when you pause, you play. And I like the fact that it's telling us to take a break quite often. Taking breaks does not really mean you have to shut out everyone. Sometimes that's what it means, because the kind of work I do is very demanding and we have to listen a lot. We have to make sure that we're in the best state of mental health. Okay, It feels good. to adopt a rabbit.
Oh my god, I've always wanted one.
I mean, animals
I couldn't take care of a rabbit.
Yeah, even I am clueless on what they like, or I'm willing to do the research. I'm willing to invest in them.
Well, I've always wanted one. Oh my god, so much. I just think they're so cute.
I know.
And there's this one I saw when I was like thinking of checking out on which one to get. I don't think it's in Nigeria, but I'll do anything to have that. They're so big.
There's actually a size
and they have big, like
yes, I know. And they're so
them.
fluffy. They have different colors.
Yeah.
The site, I think something like Hopsville or something on Instagram, they sell rabbits. You can actually purchase one online. And the breed here too.
I'll show them. Like I want to get them when I'm ready.
Yeah, honestly. So I have 2 cats in Abuja and 2 cats in Kaduna. And I'm planning on moving the cats in Kaduna to come to Abuja because
you miss them already. I wasn't a cat person until there was this time we had a cat in our house and the cat refused to leave. So we had to start feeding the cat, doing everything. And all of a sudden, he got attached to the cat. Like everybody at home got attached to the cat, and he died.
That's sad.
Yeah, it's just like got sick. It was throwing up. Doesn't like eating.
When my cat died, I was very emotional. Like,
Right.
Very big. Guys, look at me.
They're not ready.
I know, right? Say my nasa kaya na nasa.
You guys are not ready.
What's left?
Just
lipstick, sprinkles of shines to do well. So guys, rejuvenate a lot.
Yeah.
You know, go on a social media detox. If
I do that a lot.
Well, when you do, right?
Yeah. I'll just. You guys are not paying me.
As in, just you have to disconnect to connect sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I like that you're just dropping bags. It's like a rap battle. You have meaning.
Rap battle care.
Like she was like disconnect to connect.
Yeah, I have to disconnect to connect.
That's nice.
It's just so perfect. Mr. Like, okay,
Like it's not doing justice to you. We're done for the look, and
guys, I wish I could do a 360. I mean, I just feel so confident, from the makeup to the hair. She's so good. I mean, thanks.
so
Guys,
happy.
pack your money
And
to
you
her.
look good.
She's very good.
Guys,
Bring all your money, your savings.
do you need any other evidence?
Of course, I mean, it's so obvious, right? Thank you. Thanks for watching.
I hope you had a great time
Of
here.
course,
and
I did. It
And
wasn't
we all
boring
got
at all.
right. We all got a
Yes.
free therapy section. Nice.
Yes, please.
What more can we ask for?
Anytime. Bye.
So I'll put her page and her handles in the description box so that you guys can go follow her.
Anytime. You're
Check out
invited.
things.